couch, we gon' talk about it. Danni Gyrl, pull up, sit down, yeah. Kick your shoes off, lean back, tell truth. We've all got scars, we've all been bruised. Feels too high, jaw feels small. Heart been broke, you still stand tall. Hey. From the crib to the car, you've been carrying weight. You ain't crazy, you're tired. You're allowed to be late. The space here, yeah, is made for that. Real life, real love, real ugly facts. Couch conversation, nothing's off limits. Say what you're scared to say. We gon' live it. Real people, real pain, and real elevation. On the couch with Danni Gyrl, we talk transformation. On the couch with Danni Gyrl, we talk transformation. Yeah. Talk faith, talk fear, talk wins, talk shame. Talk I left, talk I stayed. Talk I heal slow, talk I still bleed. Talk I forget them, talk what about me? We laugh in the mess, we cried and we clapped. You still here, that's the victory lap. From the hurt to the hope, we connect those dots. You're not what you did, you more than your loss. Couch conversation, nothing's off limits. Say what you're scared to say. We gon' live it. Real people, real pain, and real elevation. On the couch with Danni Gyrl, we talk transformation. On the couch with Danni Gyrl, we talk transformation. If you feel alone, you can pull up too. Your story got power, let it come through. What you survive might save somebody else. Speak that truth, heal your own scars. Conversation, nothing's off limits. Say what you're scared to say. We gon' live it. Real people, real pain, and real elevation. On the couch with Danni Gyrl, we talk transformation. On the couch with Danni Gyrl, we talk transformation.
In. If you are watching, please let me know if you could hear me or not. I rearranged my podcast studio and changed everything around. As y'all can see, I don't have the background behind me anymore. I got the window. So if y'all can hear me, just let me know. That's all I want to know. Let me know. Thank y'all for tuning in to Couch Conversations. I appreciate you being here tonight. I have a really good show for y'all. If you've seen the original flyer I put out, tonight's show was originally supposed to be about race relations. I was having a really hard time putting that show together. After the block party, I just been kind of in a different mental space. So I was having a really hard time putting the show together, just watching videos about different situations to do with race. And it just became a lot. It became a lot. So I had a hard time putting it together. I apologize, but we will get back to it. Thank you to everybody tuning in. Apostle Huggins, Aisha, Champagne, Cian. Thank y'all for tuning in, and everybody else, because I see the numbers up there. I just don't know who watching. So I appreciate y'all. Before we get started, we have a new rule for the Cash App games, and I'm going to show y'all. We're actually going to be playing 2 different Cash App games. I'm going to introduce y'all to the new one. It's going to be a monthly game. So I'm going to get into that in a second. If you play Cash App games, you have to watch the show until the end. And the reason I'm saying that is because I've noticed that at the beginning of the show, people come in, they share the live, they put their Cash App tag in, and then they leave. And I know because I can see when y'all leave the show. I have the number count, and the number count starts going down. And then when I ask at the end of the show, like, are people there? They're not there. So if you don't watch the show until the end, I will not be sending you a Cash App for Cash App games. I just think that's fair to me, um, and fair to everybody that watches till the end of the show. So if you drop your Cash App at the end of the show, you need to be here to claim your money. So that is the new rule for Cash App games. Also, we're gonna get into the new game in a minute. Um, so tonight's show, we will be talking about building generational wealth, or just about generational wealth in general. I thought this was a topic that I could really get into, seeing as how I'm on my own mission to build generational wealth. So this is something that I thought that I would share with everybody, something that I thought was a good topic, and something that will kind of help y'all on y'all journey as well. So before I get into the show, also I'm gonna start a call-in series tonight. I put the number up there. Let me make sure I put the right number because I don't even know the phone number, y'all. Um, I'm gonna put the phone number up in a little while after the show gets started, but we're gonna start a call-in series. I had this in the first season and I stopped it because it was just too much going on with the callers and the comments. But I wanted to bring it back because I do like having the live callers call in and voice their opinion. Sometimes they want to say things that's too much to try to type out and leave in the chat. So we're gonna do the call in tonight. Yeah, but like I said, before I get into the show, I got a couple things I gotta do. I gotta light my candle. Y'all know I got my So Blessed candle. This is warm apple pie. This one is my favorite. I gotta light my candle. And there we go. Thank you to Apostle Shaquan Huggins. He is the creator of the candles and the owner of So Blessed. Let me put his information. He has a whole bunch of different flavors. My three that I'm burning right now are Hawaiian coconut latte. I know I messed that name up. It's Hawaiian coconut. It smells like a drink. I really like it. And I have Jamaican. Oh my goodness. I put them over there on the other shelf. Jamaican me Caribbean. That's what it is. Excuse me. So shout out to Apostle Shaquan Huggins. The number is on the bottom of the flyer. And if you were not able to get it, you can always run it back at the end of the show or catch it on YouTube. Also, my birthday is coming up. In case y'all did not know, it is November the 4th. And I am celebrating my birthday exquisitely this year. Last year I was not able to celebrate because I was in the hospital. So this year I wanted to dress up and just celebrate another year of life. So y'all come out. I'm turning 48. The event is on November the 6th at 6 p.m. It is at my house. The dress code is upscale, business casual. The theme is wear something that you've worn one time and probably will never wear again. And the first 20 people to RSVP is free. The tickets are $20 and they're all inclusive. That's for your entry, your food, and your drinks. Just to let y'all know, half of the RSVPs are gone already. So if you would like to come, make sure you let me know and RSVP and get y'all RSVPs in. Let me make sure I'm keeping up with these comments on the show. I just didn't sat my phone down and checked out. What else did I want to tell y'all real quick? So Cash App games. Let's talk about Cash App games. So Cash App games, the new way to play is, like I said, you can watch to the end of the show. You have to be watching to claim your money. But I'm doing a new monthly Cash App game. So what you need to do to win this one is you go to YouTube. Okay, YouTube. You have to go to YouTube. You get one entry for your YouTube subscription. You get one entry for every video that you like, and you get one entry for every video that you comment on. I have lots of videos on my YouTube, so y'all can just kind of spread them out. What I'm going to do is the last Thursday of the month, I will announce the winner, and we have a larger Cash App prize. So y'all know, if you've already won the Cash App games, you know it's $5. It's just enough to buy you coffee in the morning or whatever, orange juice or whatever. But this is going to be a larger prize. I'm not going to announce how much until we have our first winner. But that's how you win. That's how you play. Go over to YouTube. Okay. And at the end of the show, y'all know I put my YouTube up. Thank you to the people that are starting to RSVP while the show is going on. I appreciate y'all. I really hope to see y'all at my birthday party. I really do. I am really just excited to still have another year of life. I've talked about several times. I had an accident last year. I had a slip and fall. I had to have surgery. I ended up having to stay in the hospital extra days. It was just a lot. And then I had another slip and fall the other day. My leg is very weak, which is why I don't go out a lot, because I have issues walking distances. And I went in the bank, and when I came out the bank, my leg just buckled on me, and I was laid out in the parking lot. So, yeah, y'all just pray for me, because I almost fell again today. For my safety and my security, because I cannot afford to keep falling. Okay. I'm trying to get back to life, and I can't get back to life if I'm slipping and falling. Okay. Let me get to these comments real quick to make sure I'm not missing nothing. Hey, Kwame. Thank you for tuning in. Okay. Now let's get to the show. And I have a couple other things I'll go over at the end of the show, but we're going to get to the show. So tonight we are talking about generational wealth. I am excited to have this conversation for the simple fact that it's something that I'm very much interested in. It is something that has not always been taught, and it's not something still that a lot of people are even considering or thinking about. We're not talking about, let me take my glasses off for a minute. We're not talking about making money. We're talking about keeping it, growing it, and passing it on. We hear the phrase generational wealth all the time, but what does it really mean? Is it millions of dollars? Is it owning a home? Is it having life insurance? Or is it simply leaving your children and grandchildren in a better position than where you started? Tonight, we are having an honest conversation about how we can build wealth that will last for generations. I wanted to go a little bit more in depth with this conversation than I did. I just wrote this out a couple hours ago, so it's a lot of stuff that I did miss. Hi, LaTanya. It's a lot of stuff that I missed. But I want to touch on some things which I know right now with the state of the economy, it's kind of hard to think about generational wealth and saving money and things like that. But we're going to just talk about a few things of what generational wealth is and why people struggle with it, and some ways that we can start acquiring it. So what is generational wealth? What comes to your mind when you hear the term generational wealth? It is not just cash. It includes home ownership, successful businesses, investments, retirement accounts, land, IPs. If you don't know what an IP is, it's an intellectual property, life insurance, education, financial knowledge, and healthy family financial habits. So one of my biggest things right now that I am trying to do as far as generational wealth is Me and my children jointly are working on home ownership. We are growing our businesses together. Um, we have acquired some land together, and we're trying to decide what to do with it. Um, and a few other things. But I've worked with my children on a lot of the things that I've decided to do. One, they're adults and they have very good input. They're very smart young men. Andrew has a different perspective than Andre, so it always gives me a lot to think about and a lot of different variations to think about. Um, I was explaining to Andre the other night because he made a comment and he was saying like, "Mommy, I'm broke," and I was laughing because I think he had like a couple dollars in his wallet or something. But we were laughing, and I was like, "Well, Andre, money." I was telling him, assets are not always liquid. I was like, "You have other assets that you just can't touch." So when you say you broke, like you really not broke. Like your net worth and what you have in your pocket are two different things. I'm gonna put the call in number up for y'all. Okay, there we go. For anybody that wants to call in. But we were just talking about this, and I was explaining to him like the land we own is an asset that's part of your net worth, and we were just having this conversation. Um, I was born in 1978. As far as I know, a lot of the people that were born in my generation, before my generation, they did not discuss finances and things like that too often. So, financial literacy was not something that was really discussed and talked about between generations, between, and I'm not going to say as a whole, I'm just saying in general. It was something that was not really talked about. Um, so, this is something that I've tried to do with my kids. If you were around during the pandemic, you know that when they lifted everything for the kids to go back to school, I did not make Andre back to school. Andre was homeschooled, and then he went back to school his senior year and graduated from the high school. But Andre was homeschooled. The reason being was because when the pandemic happened, I sat down and explained to him that I can let you go and you can do the online school and you can do all of that, but this is also a time to learn about starting a business, paying bills, and a lot of things that he learned being independent during the pandemic. When it started, I do believe he was like 15 or 16. And by the time it was over, he was able to have started a business. He was a little bit more financial literate than he was before. He had his own bank account. Well, we started him off with Cash App. So he had a Cash App account, and I had him manage it like a bank account. But I was teaching him more of like real life scenarios because high school does not prepare children to go out into the world. It does not teach them financial literacy. And unfortunately, finances and financial literacy is not discussed enough in Black households. Um, so education was important to me. I wanted him to have a diploma, but I wanted him to know that this is what really goes on when high school is over and you have the diploma in your hand. Now, this is your next step, and these are your options. So yeah, and I did that with both of my children. Andrew started gigging when he was like 15 or 16. So he had to learn about budgeting his money fast. And when he went out into the world, he was prepared. And I do credit his father for some of that as well. Um, but yeah, so these different things lead to generational wealth, intellectual properties. A lot of people don't know what intellectual properties are. I should have actually got the textbook definition for you, but it's a different things. It's different things. You always hear people talking about they own their IPs. Sometimes it's your image, it's your name, it's certain things that are attached to you. Um, I own most of my intellectual properties. I'm still working on owning a couple of my other ones, but that's where the money is. When you own your intellectual properties, when you own the trademarks to your businesses, when you own the names, the LLCs, it's a whole list of stuff. But when you own these things are actually valuable things to own. I hear a lot about people building businesses, and then when they look up, they don't own the trademark to the business. We talked about that with Destination Smokehouse and Mr. Tendernism. Um, and thank you, Sensei. And yeah, you want to own your intellectual properties. If you own a business, make sure that you have your business name trademark. Make sure if you are using a tagline for your business, if you have a slogan for your business, make sure those things are trademarked as well. Because if somebody slap it on a T-shirt and start selling it, and you don't own the trademark to it, they're gonna make the money off of your creation. So, oh, thank you, Apostle Huggins. Here we go. The textbook definition. IPs refers to the creations of the mind, such as inventions, literary and artistic works, designs, symbols, names, that are protected through patents, copyrights, trademarks. It allows creators to earn recognition and financial benefit from their original work. That's the textbook definition. I gave y'all the long, drawn out, runaround version. But yeah, you want to own your IPs, your names, your business names. I was telling somebody that I learned the hard way too. If you've ever heard the couch conversation story, you know we had to shut down couch conversations for a year so that I could get my IPs correct. But anyways, one of the reasons that I no longer go by my government name, and I don't think I've explained this to but a couple people, is because Danni Gyrl is officially my name. It is not my name on my birth certificate, but that is what my trademark is. That is what my LLC is. Once I changed my name to Danni Gyrl, I made that everything. That is my business, my website, my LLC. Sometimes when you see flyers from me, you'll see that it has Danni Gyrl with the logo and not DMEG. Yeah, so that's what that is about. Lord, did I just shut down my tablet? But I suggest that if you own a business, if you are doing something with your name, a slogan, I greatly and highly suggest that you go and get it registered with the copyright company, the trademark, all that. Do all that stuff. Especially artists. Artists, I tell you all the time, artists and business owners, go trademark your stuff. Trying to wait for my tablet to come back on because it got the whole show on the tablet. But here we go. I be moving too fast, y'all. Sometimes I just be doing way too much. Back to the show. And I really thank y'all for tuning in, especially the people that tune in faithfully. Property is the way to go, especially someone else is paying the mortgage. Register, trademark, file it with the Library of Congress. Do all of that, okay? All of that. So, why do so many families struggle to keep wealth? Well, money isn't usually lost overnight. Large amounts of money are usually lost over a generation or two. The biggest reason includes no financial education. Financial literacy is not taught, like I was saying earlier. Living paycheck to paycheck. Now, this is something that I wanted to address because in our current economic state, living paycheck to paycheck is like a regular occurrence. And I know people be telling people to save money and to budget better, but I have heard some stories and people are budgeting to the best of their ability. Rent and bills is eating up the like 85% of most people's paychecks. I'm hearing stories about people that are choosing whether to put gas in the car or to have a meal. Like, it is bad. Okay, I understand this. I've been researching it, and if y'all go do the numbers, I should have brought the numbers out tonight. If y'all go do the numbers and take the numbers from the Great Depression, and basically they have a website where you could put the numbers in from there and then see what they are now. And if you compare the numbers of the Great Depression to what we're going through now, this economy is worse than the Great Depression. I am not lying. Y'all can go look it up. So if you are not able to save some money and you live in paycheck to paycheck, that is totally understandable. Consumer debt. Right now, people are going into debt, but for those of you that can avoid going into debt, that is a good way of acquiring generational wealth. And I'm gonna tell you, I've heard people talking about credit cards and what they do with their credit cards. I didn't want to go into that because I'm not a big credit card person. I know credit cards can go either way. So I didn't want to go into that, but people are using credit cards to acquire wealth. A lot of people don't have estate planning. A lot of people have family conflicts that divides the money in the family. Selling inherited assets. They have a saying where they say, don't sell grandmama's house. Let me tell y'all something. If you inherit an asset, even if it's still money owed on it, you are in a better financial position than when you started off. And the reason I say that is because homes are equity. A lot of people don't realize how much equity is in a home. And if you are able to get your house paid off, that's a whole nother thing. But it's a lot of equity in homes and real estate. So stop selling grandmama's house. Y'all hold on to whatever property that you can, that you've acquired, that you've inherited. Try to hold on to it. Find ways to make money off of it, and make it profitable for you so that you can hold on to it. Medical emergencies seem to eat up a lot of money too, especially when you don't have insurance. Okay, so I put this in here. There's an old saying: the first generation builds it, the second generation enjoys it, and the third generation loses it. And while that isn't always true, it highlights that wealth requires education and planning and not just earning money. I've been watching all the social media influencers who have been talking about how they were making at some points like $350,000 a month. And this is over 5, 6, 7 years. And now they're broke, completely broke. And they're going back getting 9-to-5 jobs at fast food places and stuff like that. That is a lack of financial literacy, and some other things that I'm gonna get into. Matter of fact, let me just skip down to that. The lack of financial literacy, and the reason is, if you're making $350 a month, you should not be living in a $20,000 or $35,000 a month penthouse. The money is gonna dry up so fast, faster than you believe. And then on top of that, a lot of these influencers are living these lifestyles that they really can't afford, and they're over consuming on certain things. This is where I talk about ownership over consumption. Are we buying things that make us look wealthy or things that actually create wealth? Things that actually create wealth are buying rental properties, starting businesses, purchasing stocks, investing in education or trade skills, buying land, creating digital products and digital properties, copyrights on music publishing, copyrights and music publishing, and owning trademarks. Those are things that will actually make us wealthy. Or are we buying things that make us look wealthy, like designer clothes, bags, shoes? All those things depreciate as soon as you walk out of the store. Are you buying luxury cars, cars that are very expensive? Because I've been looking at the price of new cars lately. The new 2026 Escalade, fully loaded, $172,000. That is like 1/4 of a house, depending on where you live at. $100,000 could be a quarter to a third of the price of a house. Like $172,000 for a Cadillac Escalade, fully loaded. That's insane. And you know what? Luxury cars depreciate, and I've been watching videos on cars because I want a new car so bad. I just don't know what I want. Luxury cars depreciate in 2 years or less now. So the same Escalade that was $172,000 in 3 years will be worth about 60,000 or less. Yeah. I just put one of my properties on Airbnb. Let me know how that works out, because I've been hearing some Airbnb horror stories, and they've been making it sound like Airbnb is not a good investment these days. Also, I'm gonna tell y'all what else. Buying the latest phone, okay? I've noticed that some people upgrade iPhones every time the new one comes out, and when you upgrade the iPhone, the one that you just had depreciates greatly. So I have, and this is why I have my phone. If you know what I have two phones. This is my iPhone XR. It still works. This is what y'all call into the show on. I'm showing y'all my poo-poo. This is what y'all call into the show on. Okay, if you call in, that's an iPhone XR, which is an iPhone 10. This is an iPhone 12. Now I think they on an iPhone 17 now. I do believe. But let me tell y'all, the iPhone 17, and I'm going to look this up, why? Because I want to give y'all the correct price. Let's look this up. And I'm going to tell y'all how much I paid for my phone. And that's the depreciation. And I'm going to tell you, listen, I'm not a big phone person anyway, so I don't even have to have a new phone. So this is the iPhone 18. I don't want the iPhone 18, but the iPhone 18 is about to come out. A used iPhone 17 is $1,000 still. And that's because the iPhone 18 is about to come out. Now, it does a few more things than my iPhone 12. My iPhone 12 only does one, maybe two different things. Thank you. It's $1,119. I was just rounding the price because it said 9 something. I just rounded it up to $1,000. But I paid my iPhone XR. Andrew gave it to me as a gift a couple years ago when he came back off tour. My phone was broke and I wanted a new phone, and he wanted me to have an iPhone so he could FaceTime me when he needed to. Okay. I was happy with my iPhone XR because that ain't even what I asked for. So he upgraded me from what I asked for. Now these iPhone XRs are like $130 to $150. My iPhone 12, I got a couple months ago when my iPhone XR, it kind of started tripping. I don't know why, it just did mysteriously. I got this iPhone 12. My iPhone 12 was $200. It does the same thing that the iPhone 18 does for, or 17 does for $1,000, and that the iPhone 18 does for over $1,000. Obama free phone, yes. Okay, now let's just keep it real. My service on my iPhone XR is the chip out of my Obama phone. Okay, I keep me an Obama phone. Don't play. I have to keep this iPhone turned on with this 702 number because that's my business number. But I keep me an Obama phone. Is I'm driving my 2003 Hyundai as long as I'm on time with an Android. I ain't mad, okay? So this is what I have learned in my 12 was 210. See, that's what I'm saying. This is what I've learned in my studies about cars. I wanted a brand new 2026 Kia Telluride. That's what I had my eye on. Now, learning everything that I've learned about cars, I'll probably end up getting something that is a 2020 or older. I've been watching videos. I might even be able to go up to like 2021 or 2022. I don't want nothing after a 2022. 2023, 4, 5, and 6. I don't want none of those vehicles. Reason being, I've seen so many recalls on the 2025s and 26s, the Jeep Wranglers, I believe it was the Tahoe. It's a list of them. I should have wrote them down, but it's a list of them, and they're all so nice, but they're getting recalled for engine failure. The Tahoe was, I don't even know if they put out a recall for it, but they were having people that were complaining about the engines going out within less than a year of having the car. And they found out that the manufacturer was putting the wrong weight oil in there. And that is what was tearing up the vehicles. They had on there that it had a 5-weight oil. And they had an independent mechanic come out and talk about the car. But anyways, off the cars are not a way to create generational wealth at all, okay. I want to get into the real estate. I have a whole little section about real estate. Oh well, before I get to the real estate, building wealth from the ground up. Let's start there. Budget, knowing where your money is going, and trying to pay off credit cards strategically if you can. Now, they recommend that you have 3 to 6 months of expenses saved. In this current economy, it's almost impossible. But if you can have 1 month of expenses saved, I suggest you do so. I know it's kind of hard, but most people will tell you it even though it's hard, it's one of the best things you can do. I've been encouraging people to put cash up. Y'all know I always say cash will always be king. A lot of money is going digital now. I'm telling y'all, cash will always be king. No matter what happens in the economy, cash will be king. If everything shuts down tomorrow and you can't go swipe your debit card or you can't go tap your phone, cash is king. Strong credit creates opportunities. Small monthly investments can grow over time. They suggest that you start with $5 a month and increase that if you can. The Ford Bronco, the Nissan Pathfinder. Yes. Both of those were having problems. The Ford Bronco and the Nissan Pathfinder. They have done so many recalls on SUVs. It's crazy. So why is entrepreneurship important? Employment creates income. Business ownership creates wealth. A business can produce income while you sleep. It can be sold. It can be passed down. It can employ other family members. It can create community jobs if you grow your business big enough, and you can build long-term assets. Most wealthy families own restaurants, construction companies, trucking companies, real estate firms, marketing agencies, farms, franchises, and entertainment companies. let me tell y'all something. People have given me a hard time about starting an entertainment company, and it never bothered me because one thing people will always want to do is be entertained. Okay. If you've been around me, you know I am an entertainer. Okay. On every level. So, that just fit me and my whole lifestyle and my brand is to entertain. But I recommend that anybody that can, if you started a business, find ways to grow it. Um, One thing I always tell artists, and I recommend this for business owners as well. I know a lot of small business owners still work their 9 to 5 and then work their business as a hustle. And my recommendation to you, and I'll say this over and over and over again, is work your business like your second job and not like a hustle. Make your business your plan A, and your job should not be your plan B. It should be what you're using to finance your plan A. Um, Throughout my journey of starting DMEG and starting Danni Gyrl LLC, I have worked several jobs, my favorites being in the restaurant industry. But I have worked in customer service. I have worked for um, people as a personal assistant. I've done a lot of different jobs that I love. Everything that I've done, pretty much, I've loved to do. But my job was never my plan A. I never took a job and said, this is the job I'm going to retire from. I have never taken a job and thought about this is a job that I'm going to be at for 5 or 10 years. That has never been a thought in my head. That has never been an intention of mine. My thought has always been DMEG first, and every dollar I got, I wanted to pour into DMEG, because the one thing that I know that I could do with my company that I can't do with my 9 to 5 is I can build it and give it to my sons. And both of them happen to enjoy entertainment in different ways. Both of them happen to work in entertainment in different ways. And that'll be something that I think that they will enjoy running together. My kids have always been the focus of um, me starting my company and building something that I could pass down to them. But never make your job your plan B. I know a lot of people say, this is my plan A, this is my plan B. There is no plan B. There is no plan B. There is no plan B. There is no, I want to beat that over y'all head. There is no plan B. If you have a company, your company is your plan A, and your job is not your plan B. It is what you are using to finance your plan A. I hope I bless somebody with that, because um, I've been beating that over people's head for the last 6 or 7 years. Your job is not your plan B. There is no plan B. If you're an entrepreneur, I need you to hear me. There is no plan B. It's your business is your plan A, and that's it. That's it. And I'm going to tell you why I always say that. If you know in the back of your mind that there's a plan B, you will not work your full potential with your plan A, because you know that you have a backup plan. There is no plan B. There is no plan B. Okay, I hope I blessed y'all with that tonight. Entrepreneurship is something that I believe families can run together, but not necessarily should they. And with that being said, my next question was, should families own businesses together? And family businesses can be powerful if everybody understands their role, their responsibility, what their percentages are, what their pay is, who makes the decisions, and has conflict resolution or a way to resolve conflict. Do I recommend family owning businesses together? It depends on the business. I don't recommend families own restaurants together unless y'all have a clear understanding of everybody's position. A clear understanding. That's with any business, but especially with a restaurant. Everybody needs a clear understanding of what their role is. Let's get to the comments. Your job should be what funds your business, and if you structure your business correctly, it should take from that job within 5 years of starting it. Correct. It took me from conception to actually taking off 7 years. I probably could have did it in 5, and the reason it took me 7 was because I stepped back from to entertain my marriage, and I said that correctly, to entertain my marriage, because that was what I was doing. I don't know what we had going on. We were not equally yoked. So yeah, I stepped back to entertain my marriage. And when we were done entertaining each other, I decided to go full force into DMEG. I started it in 2012. Next year we'll be celebrating 15 years. But I did not really go full force into it until 2014 or 2015. Actually, it was 2015. That's when I started like really getting clients, doing shows, and just going full force with what I wanted to do. In 2019, I was blessed to be able to take off a little bit. I ain't saying I'm all that, but I was blessed to be able to take off a little bit and do a little something. And God has been blessing ever since. Here we are in 2026. I have created some things that and acquired some things that will allow my children to be comfortable and my grandson to be comfortable. My children will not have to struggle, thank God. And in the next few years, I will be somewhere chilling too. Yeah, it takes time, it takes patience, it takes planning, and I'm still in some planning stages. Yeah. So make sure if you are doing business with your family that you go into it with operating agreements, partnership agreements, buy and sell agreements, conflict resolution agreements. Do not rely on verbal agreements. Okay? Do not. Love your family, but get it in writing. Now, real estate, here it is. Is owning a home still worth it? For many families, yes, but it depends on their finances and their goals. The benefits is it builds equity, stable housing costs if you have a fixed rate mortgage, potential appreciation with the property, tax advantages in some situations. The challenges are the maintenance, the property taxes, the insurance, the interest costs, and less flexibility if you need to pick up and move. I had a bakery with my nephew, and after 8 years, I finally made him buy me out. Hey, I ain't mad. I'm in my 3rd year of business, and my job has helped me get this far. That's great. There is no plan B, y'all. There is no plan B. I'm telling y'all, if I would have made the restaurant industry my plan B, I would have never got back to my plan A. The reason being, I started enjoying being in that environment way too much. I enjoyed the food, the cooking. I was eating all the time. The discounts, the free food. Listen, you will gain weight working at Popeyes. You will gain weight running a restaurant. You will gain weight working in a food court. Tropical smoothie. I did not gain weight at tropical smoothie, thank God. But I loved being in that environment, and then I was in management. So I could have stayed there. My last restaurant job was at Pickup Sticks. I was a shift leader, not a manager, and I didn't want to be a manager there. And I felt so disrespected when the palm colored man told me that I wasn't qualified to be a manager. And I was so lost because I had managed a tropical smoothie. I was actually training for my own store at Popeyes. I opted to leave though. Um, my sister was training me for management at Einstein Bakery. Um, because she was a manager. She was getting promoted to manager and she was trying to get me in as her assistant. Um, I had managed another Popeyes. It was just like, Lord Jesus, my feelings was hurt. Hey, Lavender, Lavender know the story. That palm colored man told me I was not qualified to be the manager, and I went in to pick up sticks with the mentality that I'm only here to get this money to pay my rent and to do what I need to do until I could get to the music. Now, God sent me to the food court. I do realize that. That's why I went in with the attitude that I had. I was blessed to meet the brothers that sang, that did a couple shows with me. They worked in the food court. Um, brother to brother. They were like 4 or 5 brothers. They sang. They were so amazing. I met them in the food court because he was cleaning up the trash and humming. I met Lavender there because Lavender was the manager at Tropical Smoothies when I worked at Pickup Sticks, and I used to cover Lavender shifts. I would have never met Lavender. I found out Lavender was an amazing talent that was in hiatus doing whatever he was doing. So me and Lavender ended up having some amazing conversations. Now he's this amazing artist, and I take no credit for this because he was amazing on his own. But yeah, he's this amazing dope artist that's just doing his thing. Like he got a clothing line now. Like he's doing all these great, amazing things. He out here modeling. He looking good. But it was meant for me to meet Lavender because something I said to Lavender sparked him. And I wasn't expecting that. But Lavender would walk around singing too. And I just thought he was so dope. He just had this look, you know? Like I tell people, and I posted this on my Facebook the other day. My purpose here is not for me. My purpose on earth is not for me. It is for me to be a blessing to other people in whatever way I can. And my therapist actually just told me last night, I'm a natural mentor, that I love to pour into people and to mentor people and to speak words into them. And that is somewhat true. Um, that is somewhat true. But I just want to see people do better. I want to see people do better. And sometimes it be to my own detriment. Like, for real, for real. I've taken L's behind people, trying to help them do better. I don't even want to go into that story. But yeah, I had a artist, the quick version. I had an artist who I did a video release party for on her birthday. And she did not tell me thank you. She did not say anything to me except she called me 2 weeks later to tell me that she didn't like her party because out of all the people that I know and all the celebrities I'm attached to, none of them were at her party. Me, my partner, and my assistant put that party together out of our pocket for her, to do something nice for her birthday. And she was supposed to be signed to me at the time. But yeah, that was a no-go after that. Um, yeah, we spent a lot of money on her for her birthday. We rented her a suite and did all this stuff, got food and all kind of stuff. I hired security. It was just crazy. But yeah, to my own detriment, sometimes I try to help people because I'm really about uplifting and building, and I try to pour into people, which is kind of why I talk about some of the things I talk about on Couch Conversations, because as a people, I want us to do better. And that's why it was in my heart to talk about this tonight. But God is working on me, y'all. He is working on me because when that man told me I wasn't qualified to be a manager, I'm gonna tell y'all what I did. I didn't get mad. I finished my shift. My off day was the next day. I didn't go back to work, y'all. They was calling me like, "Are you coming back to work?" I was like, "No." And the next day, I started working for Danny Boy, or the next 2 days. But yeah, I started working for Danny Boy. Um, I said that to say that can't have a plan B in entrepreneurship. You cannot have a plan B. You got to go full force with what your heart is, and that right there alone will put you in a position to create generational wealth. And a lot of people don't believe that. When you work a 9 to 5, you building somebody else's dream. But when you get in a position to build your own dream, it's a different kind of passion behind it. And it makes you work harder because you're thinking about what you really can get out of it and what you really can pass down to your people. Um, Very ungrateful. And you know what? For a long time, I was bitter about it, but I said I'm not gonna let that stop me from helping other artists. Um, I love helping artists. I want to see them be successful in the indie space without having to go and sign a deal and do some stuff that they don't want to do for a deal. Um, I really want to help them be successful in the indie space because it is possible. I know a lot of people now are saying that, with streaming the way it is and all these different things, that is no money in the music. But it is money in the music. You just have to know where to get it at. It's a lot of money in live shows and touring. It's a lot of money in owning your IPs. Um, all those things acquire generational wealth. So I just wanted to speak on that because I know I got a couple artists watching and stuff like that. So, real estate. Should families keep inherited property? Yes, and sometimes no. The question to ask yourself is, can it generate income? Can multiple generations use it? Can it be renovated? Can it become a rental property? Can it become a business? Sometimes families sell properties too quick without realizing that it can produce income for decades. Keeping properties isn't always the right answer, though. So making a misinformed decision is better than reacting emotionally. Excuse me, an informed decision is better than reacting emotionally. How can rental income create long-term wealth? Rental properties, it generate income month after month. So the benefits include a monthly cash flow, appreciation of the property over time, mortgage paid down by the tenants, not by you, the potential tax benefits, the equity growth. One rental house might eventually help pay for college or somebody's retirement or even another investment property. Multiple rental properties can become a family income that can be streamed and passed down from one generation to the next. So it depends on the property, it depends on the management of the property, but it is good to have property, to have land. Um, the land I have has nothing on it. I don't know what to do with it. Y'all pray for me because I've been in this dilemma for about a year now. I don't know what to do with it. And as much as I want to put some houses on it, I'll keep asking myself who's going to live in the houses because I don't see myself going to live there. Y'all pray for me. I need to get some income off of this property. I'm going over time tonight, y'all, so bear with me. Life insurance. How can life insurance become a wealth building tool instead of just paying for a funeral? Many people think of life insurance only paying after someone dies. It can also be part of a broader financial strategy depending on your policy. Possible uses of an insurance policy include income replacement because it protects the family if the primary earner dies, paying Estate costs, helping preserve family assets instead of forcing the sale. Provides cash so surviving partners or heirs can continue operating a business. Many life insurance death benefits are generally income tax free to the beneficiaries, though estate taxes rules can vary. There are policies where you can pull from the policy while you're alive. Um, I don't know if my policy can do that or not, but I don't want to pull from it. I don't want to do that. But you can pull from the policy while you're alive. And I've been seeing a lot of people doing this. Let me just tell y'all, okay? Since we talking about generational wealth, and I'm going to just keep it real with y'all. The palm color people have this all figured out, okay? And what I mean by that is they pull money off of their credit cards. This is why I was telling y'all earlier, sometimes having a credit line could be good when you have credit cards that you don't really use. They pull from their credit cards. I was listening to someone earlier today saying, basically, I use my American Express to pay all my bills, everything that I have to pay during the month. I use my American Express for that. I pay off my American Express at the end of the month. I acquire all of these flight and hotel points and all of this stuff on my American Express. And then I get to travel for free. They got it figured out, y'all. We got to figure it out too, because I'm starting to see this is what a lot of people are doing with their credit cards. They're using the credit cards. They get flight points or hotel points, and they're using it to pay the bills. They pay the credit card off, and then they use the flight points to travel, the hotel points to stay on their travel. Term life never hold. Term policy will allow you to borrow against it. There you go, y'all. I couldn't remember which one was which, but there you go. Term policy will allow you to borrow against it. Let me tell you what else I done learned about the palm color people. Not only are they doing this, which is a very good thing. If you could get American Express card, that is like amazing, because a lot of people can't get American Express. Another thing I found out is, now this is not legal, but this is what I found out, because y'all be talking about generational wealth. I want y'all to know it don't always come from the places that y'all think it come from. So I found out that a lot of palm color people were going out. They have 2, 3, 4, 5 credit cards. They will go max the credit card out, buy everything they need for their house, and then report the credit card stolen. That is not legal. I'm just telling y'all, but this is what they be doing. I've been trying to find out how they acquire generational wealth since they don't have slaves no more. And I'm going to just tell y'all, it's in all different kind of ways, okay? All different kind of ways. Yes, they are using stocks and bonds and all that type of stuff. They doing all of that. But let me tell you what else y'all doing. They are acquiring businesses that end up being, evaluated, because I don't know if y'all noticed, at some point your business is evaluated for an estimated amount that it's worth. So when they're evaluating these businesses, they kind of like trade stocks and bonds between each other to escalate the price of what the company is and how much it's worth, and then they sell and trade their stocks and bonds back. So a lot of these companies, when you look at them and it says they're worth like $50 billion, they might only really be worth like $10 billion. A lot of these billionaires and millionaires, when you look at their net worth and it's telling you they're worth all this money, 90% of that is the company or the stocks and bonds they own. It is not liquid cash. I'm starting to learn this stuff, y'all, because financial literacy is something that I'm not going to say I wasn't taught, but I wasn't taught to the extent that I think I should have been taught. So I've tried to tell my kids about, credit and stuff like that. They dispute their transactions after they purchase what they want. Yes. All of this stuff has been like stuff that I've been finding out lately. I'm going to have the conversation with y'all about diamonds really quick. So did y'all know that there's like really no worth on a diamond? Do y'all really want to have this conversation? So they have a whole documentary about this on Netflix if you don't believe me. If you buy a diamond and the diamond costs you $10,000, if you go to pawn the diamond, you're probably going to get maybe $1,000 or $2,000 for it. The reason being is because that is the actual worth of the diamond. Diamonds were a marketing ploy during the Great Depression that went to the next level. Diamonds do not actually have a worth except the worth that they're given by the GIA, the CIA, the GIA, whatever it's called. I watched this whole documentary, y'all. If you want to invest in something as far as jewelry, invest in gold, invest in silver. These things appreciate, okay? They appreciate. If y'all go and we have a crisis tomorrow, your gold will be worth some money. Your silver will be worth some money. A lot of people don't like silver jewelry. A lot of people don't like silver. It's worth it, okay? It is worth it to invest in silver or gold. Diamonds do not have real worth. Now they have the moissanite. If y'all see the moissanite, it looked like a diamond, but it's just a little bit shinier or something. It's a little something off about it. But if you put the moissanite under a diamond tester, it'll beat just like a diamond. The lab grown diamonds, they beat just like diamonds. And how do you know that you're not buying a lab grown diamond these days? There's a lot of controversy about the jewelers selling or lab grown diamonds as real diamonds. It's just a mess. The GIA, thank you. I knew I was right the first time. It's a whole documentary on Netflix, y'all. If you want, I can get the link and post it for y'all. But it is a whole documentary on Netflix about diamonds. I've shown it to a lot of people that I know, and it has changed the outlook that they have on diamonds. Get you some gold, get you some silver. Okay, get you some gold, get you some silver. That's all I'm saying. The GIA, if you watch the documentary, the GIA, the marketers, the diamond people, all of them were in cahoots together to sell diamonds. That's why diamonds are expensive. It was all a marketing ploy, okay? And that's all it has been all of these years. Now, let me try to wrap this up. Estate planning basics. And I think this is the end, y'all. Estate planning, but yep, it is. So let's talk about estate planning really quick. I skipped over some things. But we're going to talk about estate planning really fast. Many people spend decades building wealth, but never create a plan for passing it on. And we're going to talk about what a will, a trust, and a power of attorney is. So, a will, here we go. I'm trying to make sure I keep the comments. A will tells the court who gets your property, who cares for minor children, who manages your estate. A will generally goes through probate. If y'all know anything about probate, you know probate can last for years, and years. Okay. A trust is a legal arrangement that holds assets for beneficiaries according to the rules that are established. Potential benefits include it may help avoid probate for assets placed in the trust. It's more privacy than a will. It's easier management if you become incapacitated. Greater control over how and when assets are distributed. Trust can be especially useful for real estate, businesses, larger estates, though they are not only for wealthy families. I'm going to just tell y'all this. If you own some property, get a trust. If you got a bank account with some money in it, get a trust. Do not allow your family to go through probate. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Don't just leave them a will and just leave it at that. Put a trust together and take care of your people, man. Um, what is the power of attorney? The power of attorney allows someone you choose to make financial or legal decisions on your behalf if you cannot yourself. Without one, your loved ones may need to go to court to seek court approval before managing certain matters on your behalf. You know what? I didn't say that, but yes, put your LLC under your trust. Whatever you have, put it under your trust. Whatever IPs you have, whatever you own that is worth something, put it in your trust, okay? Now, a power of attorney is basically me giving you power to handle my business. That's basically what it is in short form. Now, a medical directive is something different. A medical directive is also called an advanced healthcare directive, if you've heard of that. Can also be a living will. It explains your medical wishes, your end of life preferences, and who makes the healthcare decisions on your behalf if you're unable to communicate. This reduces uncertainty and conflict during difficult times. So basically, what a medical directive is different than a power of attorney, y'all. I need you to hear me. A power of attorney is for financial decisions, and it can be for medical decisions, but it's for financial decisions and legal decisions. So if you want the person to handle all of those, they're going to need a power of attorney and an advanced healthcare directive. They go hand in hand. I actually did one, and when I did it, it came with the advanced healthcare directive on there. The difference is your power of attorney makes your financial and your legal decisions. They can go handle your business on your behalf. But the person that has the medical directive is the person that makes the medical decisions on your behalf. So if you were to go into a coma or any type of things like that where you can't make decisions for yourself, the person that has the medical directive makes those decisions for you. So they would decide if you were to be resuscitated, if you were to be intubated, if a situation came where the plug had to be pulled, the person with the advanced medical directive or healthcare directive, that is what they are there for. So I want y'all to know the difference. Most people, and I'm gonna just tell you this because this is the way that I set it up for my client when I did their estate planning. Because in case y'all don't know, I do a little bit of everything. Like I told y'all, I do it. I'm a Jill of all trades. I'm a Jill of all trades. I do a little bit of everything. So when I did the estate planning for my client, I put all of their stuff into a trust. I made them a power of attorney. I made them a medical directive, and I put them all together in one planning packet. So if you go through their planning packet, it literally has everything spelled out and very, 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 very specific. And I think that is very good to be specific with your stuff if you have multiple children, grandchildren, things like that. Okay, y'all. So let's wrap this up real quick. At what age should we be teaching our children about money? At what age should kids know about investing? At what age should your child have a savings account? How can we normalize conversations about finances at home? What's one financial lesson you wish someone had taught you? Let's remember, ownership matters more than appearances. Knowledge should be passed down and I'm going to be specific, financial knowledge should be passed down with the money. Protect what you build and think in generations instead of paychecks. So I hope this was good for somebody tonight. Um, I skipped a couple things, but I really want to get back into this conversation again before this season is over and really get into how we can dig deeper into building generational wealth. I just basically touched on the tip of this subject. Somebody said in the womb, you know what? Listen, me and my grandson be talking about money and he 4 months old. Grandma be putting him up on some game, okay? But I just want to remind people, if you're an artist, if you're a business owner, make sure that you own your IPs. Make sure that you're getting things trademarked, copywritten, if you patented if necessary. Make sure copywritten. Make sure that your music is copywritten. Before I even released Blunts for Two, I had my copyright papers in. Yeah. Make sure you get all your IPs together. A lot of people don't know part of your IP is also your email and your website. Your email and your website. I've seen people get their website snatched. I've seen people get their email snatched. Copyright all your IPs. Anything that you own, make sure you copyright it. I wish I would have been taught to budget. Me too. I wish somebody would have told me when you turn 18, don't go get 25 credit cards and mess your credit up. Listen, somebody should have told me. But somebody should have told me when you get a bank account, don't let nobody talk you into depositing no check in it. Somebody should have told me, But you live and learn, and you do better as you learn, and you pass on the knowledge. And that is what we are here for. This is a safe space to educate. I know a lot of people come on my Facebook and they feel like I'm controversial, especially when I start talking about celebrities and stuff like that. But let me tell y'all something. If you read into anything that I'm posting, everything is to educate. It is to educate. Even when I'm talking shit about the celebrities. If you just look at the bottom line. A lot of people were offended by my Jay-Z post today. Listen, my bottom line of the post was Jay-Z does backdoor stuff. Okay? Let me tell y'all something about me. Y'all see every week with Couch Conversations, I come in, I have my tablet or I have a stack of papers that I done printed out about 15 pages long of stuff that I have read and typed up. And I love to read and I soak up information like a sponge. So please know that when I'm putting out these controversial statements, I have also read the information to back it up. And when I say this, I'm not talking about I'm going to World Star or nothing like that. Like, there are places on the internet where you can go, and if you dig deep enough, you'll find what you're looking for. Now, I also want to say this because somebody wanted to argue with me about this today. I've mentioned this before on this show. Back in 2008, I worked for Google. I only worked for them for about 3 or 4 months. One thing that I can tell you about Google is Google has the ability, if you have enough money, okay, Google has the ability to remove and to place things on the internet. They can change what page it is on, okay? If you coming up as the first person on the search and you don't want to be the first person on the search, they have a department that you can contact and move yourself to page 5 or completely remove yourself if you have enough money. So I want y'all to know that when I say this, I don't pull this out of my ass. I'm saying this because that's the department I worked in. People would call us and they would pay to have their business placed higher in the Google search or taken down in the Google search. That's the department I worked in 2008. So I want y'all to know that when I say this stuff, I'm not just pulling it out my ass. If you got enough money, you can have anything you want to remove off of the internet or put on the internet or move where it is placed on the internet. I want y'all to know that, okay? So don't be coming at me, cussing me out in my comments and going off on me in my comments, asking me where am I getting this stuff from? I work there. I know this happens. And somebody told me today, well, once it's on the internet, it's on the internet forever. No, it's not. It can be removed if you have enough money. The thing is, people don't understand that that type of service is not for people in our tax bracket. Okay? Let me clarify that for y'all. That's not for people in our tax bracket. So, yeah, I want y'all to know that. You can have stuff removed off the internet. Don't think you can't. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in. Ooh, I'm losing my voice. I've been out playing with my grandson. I bought a bubble blower, y'all. And if you know me, I'm a big kid. So I've been outside yelling and clapping at the bubbles today. Generational wealth. Oh, wait, before I do my closing words. I'm sorry, y'all. So, let me get back to this. Here. Just want to show y'all one more time the birthday party flyer. If you haven't RSVP'd already, make sure you RSVP. I said half the RSVPs are gone. I got 10 left. So the first 10 people to RSVP, that'll be it. The first 20 people are free. And after that, it's $20 a person. And it includes your food, your entry, your drinks. Make sure you dress up, wear something you probably won't wear again. And that you've worn once and probably won't wear again. So this is the time to pull out that old wedding dress or that old bridesmaid's dress, that old tuxedo from your homeboy's wedding that you wore when you was the best man. This is the time to pull that out, okay? So thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. I appreciate y'all ever so much. Y'all don't know how grateful I am that y'all tune in every week. Y'all really genuinely give me the push and the strength to keep going, especially when y'all are so involved in the comments and so interactive. It makes it a better show for me and an easier show. And it makes me want to come back and have another conversation with y'all. So I appreciate y'all being here. Make sure you subscribe. There we go. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube at The Real Danni Gyrl. Excuse me. YouTube.com at The Real Danni Gyrl. Or you can search DMEG TV. Also, check out the website. HTTPS, not www. divinemanagement.weebly.com. I appreciate everybody that goes to the website. I apologize that it still has not been updated for the block party, but please go subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you comment. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video for a chance to win some money on Cash App Games. Okay, y'all? Cash App Games. I'm going to put this up for y'all again. Go to YouTube. YouTube, y'all. Go to YouTube. Not Facebook. YouTube. Okay? Go to YouTube. Pick a video. Watch it. Like it. Comment. Subscribe. Whoever got the most entries at the end of the month wins the money, y'all. Okay? So that's what we doing now. And like I said, it's going to be a bigger prize than what we give away on Thursday. Tonight, I am not doing Cash App Games. Unfortunately, I had to pay to get the AC fixed this morning. So, yeah, that's where my money went. Andrew had to give me some money for that. So, unfortunately, yeah. No Cash App Games today. But shout out to my AC repairman. I'm going to post him on my page today. I've been big on the black-owned business. I'm trying to get off of this Cash App thing, y'all. I've been big on the black-owned businesses, and a friend of mine that I grew up with has a HVAC service. He services all of Southern California. He is so reasonably priced, and I appreciate him. He came out for me today, got our AC working. Um, Jock Jones, shout out to Jock Jones. I'm gonna post him so that y'all can have y'all AC serviced or whatever needs to be done with your heat or your AC. Make sure we support this black man. Um, he's a God-fearing man. He's married. He has a family, and yeah, that's my guy. So I want to support him. Now let me get on next week. We have a special guest coming on. We're going to talk about her journey from Philly to Cali. Miss Tamara. I told her when I met her, I wanted to get her name right because I know it's 3 ways to pronounce that. It's Tamara, and Tamara. So her name is Tamara, and she will be with us next week. And she owns a massage business. So we'll talk to her about her business. I was thinking about throwing a massage party. Y'all want to come out and get massages and have drinks, and let me know, y'all. Let me know. Y'all know I love a good party. Y'all know I love anything with a nice little glass of wine, So let me know if y'all want to have a massage party, and we'll have Tamara come out and hook us up. Excuse me. Closing words. Let me get my little closing words thing up. I just appreciate y'all so much. Y'all don't even know. Okay. Oh, I forgot this. Okay. I got to go back one more before closing words. If you have any topic suggestions, or you would like to be on the show, please feel free to text me at 702-578-6716, or you can email me at couchconversationslive@gmail.com, or you can message me on IG at couchconversationslive, and make sure to follow us there as well. If you would like to be a guest, please make sure you reach out to me, shoot me a text message. We can have a little 5-minute conversation, and I can get you set up for the show. If you have a topic suggestion, something that you would just like for me to talk about, for me to research, for me to deep dive, please make sure to shoot me a text message. If you've been watching the show this season, I have been very big on the viewer suggestions as well as last season. So let me know. Okay. All right. Closing words. This is the closing words for real this time, y'all. Generational wealth isn't just about leaving money. It's about having knowledge, assets, systems, and opportunities. A lasting legacy is built through financial education, wise spending, strategic investing, business ownership, real estate, estate planning, life insurance used thoughtfully, family communication, and intentional planning. Excuse me. I'm sorry, y'all. Generational wealth isn't about becoming a millionaire overnight. It's about making decisions today that give your children, grandchildren, and future generations more opportunity. Sorry, y'all. I don't know what's going on. Every savings account started, every investment made, every business launched, every home purchased, and every financial lesson shared is a brick in the foundation of a family's future. Legacy isn't just measured by what you leave behind. It is measured by what you build while you are here to leave behind. Stop thinking about surviving and start thinking about thriving for generations to come. And before I say my goodbyes, I just want to say one more time, there is no plan B. There is no plan B. All right. I will see y'all back next week. We will be back next week with Cash App Games for sure. If you are in the area and interested in coming out on Saturday, this Saturday, July 11th, I am doing my video shoot at Green Widow Exotics in La Puente. If you're interested in coming out, please tap in with me ASAP. We have a limited amount of space that we're working with, so we have a limited amount of people that we can allow in. But if you are interested in coming, please, please, please message me ASAP. Um, to those of you that have already RSVP'd, I will see y'all Saturday. I'm excited about the shoot. I love y'all. I will see y'all next week. And make sure you back here at 8 p.m. as we talk with Tamara. All right, y'all. Also, just to let y'all know, week after next, we will have a mental health specialist on as well. So we're going to get these people on that can give us some good advice and some good conversation on these subjects that we are having. But we're going to be talking about mental health in the Black community in a couple weeks, 2 weeks. So y'all stay tuned. I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. I will see y'all next week. Peace and have a divine night.